with your Miami trainers, tips to improve how you show up online.
This amazing audit is going to be performed by RealGrader. We're going to be able to go through our profiles and through some examples of how you can best optimize those profiles.
This is a prerequisite for our social media series starting in January 2024.
Make sure to stay at the end for some really great Q&As.
Hi, Caroline. It's Connie and Christy here. We wanted to give you a big shout out. We wanted to let everyone know that Instacart was here today in RealGrader and that you've taken a minute of your time to create this wonderful class with us, tips to improve how you show up online. Just in case they're a little camera shy or they don't want to give up their names to be, looked at or seen or reviewed online. Christy and I are ready for you to review how it is that we show up and for you to do that live audit on one of us. So I'll go ahead and share our info. Christy can share hers and I can share mine so you can review us. We are going to keep this recording. We're going to make it a part of our social media series for 2024. And we're very excited.
Awesome. Well, Connie and Christy, it's so great to connect with you again after getting to meet you both in person at IOI Summit down in Miami. So it's great speaking. Great. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you all so much for joining. My name's Caroline, so I head our customer support division at RealGrader. I mentioned before that I got to meet Christy and Connie at IOI Summit Miami. So we are actually your guys' preferred digital business card with the Miami MLS. You may have heard of us before, probably by the Instacard. So everybody on this call, whether you know or not, you have a free digital business card. So if anyone is interested in the chat, I can make sure that you have your Instacard sent to you by the end of our training today. We can get it installed on your device and you can start networking and using it. We've done a couple of trainings in the past on Instacard. Today, we're really going to be talking about your online presence and how you show up online. But for any Instacart interest, because we always get that, feel free to let me know and we can take care of you towards the end. But without further ado, let's jump on into it. So I actually included a quick little video of Teresa Kinney. So she is the reason why I'm here, really, from the beginning. We got to meet her down at NAR in Washington, D.C. I don't know if any of you guys attended that conference. So here's just a quick promo video that Teresa was kind enough to stop by and create for us. So here it is.
Hi, I'm Teresa King Kinney, the CEO for Miami Realtors and Miami Southeast Florida MLS. And I'm here to tell you that we have had RealGrader for our members for quite a while, and they love it. So one of the best things that you can do for your members, whether you're an association or an MLS, is contact RealGrader and make sure that you can make arrangements for your members to take advantage of RealGrader like we did in Miami.
Awesome. All right, and I'm just going to jump right back into our presentation. And just a quick overview of what we're going to cover today. So we're going to go over the importance of your digital footprint, specifically what sites you should be on. And lastly, we're going to go over how we can improve your online presence on the essential sites. So according to the National Association of Realtors, over 85% of your prospective clients will Google you before deciding to enter into business with you. Now, this includes your referrals. So your Google search is really your first impression. People are going to do a little digital assessment of you before they decide to choose you as a realtor. We like to call this the same thing as a background check. And I always like to use the example of, have you ever been to a new city before? Have you ever, found yourself in an area that you're not really familiar with the restaurants and maybe you search, best restaurant near me? And that's probably where you found where you're going to go ahead and eat dinner, right? And odds are you probably selected the restaurant or the place to grab a bite that had a good Google presence. So would you rather pick the one that had no Google reviews or the one that had 51 Google reviews and a 4.8 rating? So let that sink in. People really nowadays in 2023 are always going to start on Google when it comes to selecting their realtor. So go ahead and take a moment and ask yourself, how are you appearing online? When was the last time you Googled yourself? And if you haven't done it in a while, I encourage you to do so today. So let's run through a fun little example. I know that Christy and Connie were nice enough to volunteer themselves. I actually found a Miami MLS. Kristen Markovic, who's one of our really happy clients a lot. She lets us use her for an example. So I'm going to use her. But if anyone else wants to be in the hot seat, you're more than welcome to send a message in the chat if you're feeling brave and vulnerable, and I can Google you as well. So here's just an example of an agent that has a strong online presence. So maybe you can take some notes back with you on just some, key points where you might find areas where you can improve and also have a strong presence as well. So I started off, this is a screenshot I took about an hour ago of just researching Kristen. So I started off by searching Kristen Markovic Realtor. And right away, I see a Google business profile on the right-hand side. Notice that I didn't have to click on this. It populated in seconds. And my eyes, like most of us, right, we're almost trained by Google to kind of look over to that right-hand side, see what the ratings are. I can see 5.0. That's my first impression, is that obviously other people have reviewed her before myself. She's got 6 Google reviews, which is pretty good. Definitely could use some, more Google reviews, the more referrals, the better. But at least she does have a couple on the board, which is great. And then quickly, I know how to get in touch with her. I can see that she's in the Coral Gables area. I also love the fact that she's got her headshot image in the photo. So I know right away I have the right Kristen Markovic. Whether she was a referral or not, I'm able to really get an idea of, the area that she serves. As you can see towards the bottom, she even utilized the product section of Google Business. So I've noticed a lot of people are on Google Business, but they're not utilizing this section. She put all her for sales there. So quickly, I can even start looking, which properties she has currently. And that might be yet another reason to get in touch with her. Also, you can see that she's got her office address, she's got her hours of operation, and quickly I can see that phone number to pick up and dial, get in touch with her, and select her as my realtor if I do decide. Let's look at the left-hand side as well, right? So Google Business is always the most important one to be on because everybody uses Google as their search engine. I know there's a couple of people out there that use Bing or maybe Yahoo search, but let's be real, everyone's on Google these days. We can see Facebook Business came up right away as well. Great searchability. So it's great that she has a platform on there. She's also on realtor.com. Her Berkshire Hathaway Home Services agent page appeared, her LinkedIn profile, and towards the bottom, let's see, is that her Instagram page? Right, so that's her Instagram. So all of these sites that have populated on the left-hand side are extremely important to be on because they're page 1 sites, right? Everybody that's doing a quick background check on you is probably only going to look at the first couple of links, right? So being mindful of not only what comes up, but what comes up first is really, really key. Awesome. So let's go ahead on to the next slide. This is just a little bit more of an inside view. I wanted to kind of zoom in on exactly what's shown on her business page. We actually designed for her that fun little photo of her face over a backdrop of, a property that's sort of like her avatar property. She has like a lot of beachfront homes. So she really wanted something that tells her story of her area that she serves. So this is a little bit more information. She even linked her Instacard to her appointments. So by clicking that, I'd actually have access to her digital business card. So this is just another really great tool to utilize. If you have your Instacard, you're active on your Instacard, you should definitely utilize that link, add it to your Google business page. Feel free to add it to your Instagram bio too, or maybe even on some of your socials, sharing it on Facebook business. Just getting your information out there is key. Great. So the magic question is, what sites should I be on? There's so many different social media platforms. Every few years, there's always another one added to the list, and it does get very overwhelming. These are the 8 that we say you should be on. Why these 8 is, again, it goes back to when we saw Kristen's search results, right? These are the 8 that are most likely to populate on page 1 of Google. Now, of the 8, we always also get the question of, what's the most important? Of course, Google is the most important to be on. So right now, if you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed and you're, realizing that maybe you have 3 on this slide, maybe you have 0, maybe you have 7 out of the 8, maybe you have all 8. If you are someone that's really trying to kind of like hyper focus on one, I would say definitely start with Google. Instagram, though, too, is, I would say, these days second as far as where people are looking the most. So I would say like to downsize the overwhelm is focus on those two and then expand upon the other six. If you're somebody that needs a lot of help, maybe you don't have a strong online presence and you really don't want to go about creating a number of these 8 on the slides, feel free to let me know in the chat because I can send you guys a Calendly link. We do free audits. So it's where you connect with one of our specialists for 20 minutes. We'll Google you, especially if you don't want to do it in a big setting right now in a group. If you want a one-on-one demo, we can get you on a calendar and we can talk about how we can help you brand on all of these 8 platforms. Awesome. So what are the consequences of not being on these 8 platforms, right? So at the end of the day, you're really missing opportunities. So if someone's Googling you and you're not appearing, it suddenly becomes a bit of a risk to choose you as a realtor, only because it might not be the fact that you have a negative online presence. Having no online presence is not a good thing either. You really just won't have credibility. And again, it really does stem back to having referrals and reviews. You want them somewhere, and referrals are no longer enough in 2023. They're great, and they're definitely going to still lead you to more and more business, but you're just not waking up every day and operating at 100% if you're not online. And then also being mindful that your referrals are, of course, going to Google you. So it always kind of comes back to online presence at the end of the day, even if you try to avoid it. And of course, at the end of the day, your business deals are going to be lost just because you're not online. So just something to keep in mind. I'm actually going to check the chat real quick. I'm going to try to do this periodically in case we have any questions that come up throughout the training. Don't be shy if you have something that comes up. It always enhances the training. Great. Okay, so I see Connie and Christy's initial Christine, realtor.com, professional search, and homes.com are both available on your Miami gateway. Awesome. All the others mentioned in social media series free from Miami classes, which is coming back in January. Super. Yeah, keep it up. If anyone has any tidbits of information as far as free training or any questions, go ahead and throw in the chat. Awesome. So obviously this gets overwhelming. 8 platforms, especially being a full-time realtor, can really give you 2 different jobs at once. I mean, there's a reason why there's a lot of agents nowadays that are actually paying for a marketing manager or an assistant simply to keep them active online, because it's overwhelming. It's a lot to manage at once. So there is a bit of a gap, right? So it's where you are and where you want to be. And where you want to be is a realtor that's also very active online, but it's just a matter of how to get there, because most of the time, the biggest obstacle is time, right? So how are you going to remain active on all these platforms, have a strong online presence, and still be keeping up with your day-to-day work as a real estate agent? And that's where we can really help you at RealGrader. So we have something called a social media influencer program. All of you guys on this call have free Instacards. So even using your free Instacard too, that can really help you increase your online presence and just really help how you're showing up online. So I'm really going to be talking about online presence next, and really how we can help you get more active on social media and how we can do all the heavy lifting for you so you don't have to worry about it really at all. So what we call this is becoming a real estate influencer. There might be a bunch of people on the call that have heard of the term influencer. We don't mean somebody famous on TikTok, but we really just mean somebody that is active on social media, is keeping their followers up to date with all of their recent listings, everything that's happening. But even more so, just being active in general. It doesn't always have to be, kind of showcasing a closing or, something monumental, but just staying active on social media in general is, a reason why people will pick you. I've noticed that some agents, I'll go to their realtor.com page and they'll have a grayed out background. And it's not because they're not in business. They just haven't touched their branding. And the problem is it looks like you're out of business, even though, of course, you are not. Let's see. I see Connie put something in the chat, so I'm just going to check it out real quick. This is a great goal. Yes, definitely. So I talked about the 8 essential sites on the other page. I'm going to read through them again. So the 8 most essential platforms to be on in 2023 are Google, Facebook Business, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, Homes.com, Realtor.com, and Zillow, because again, these are the 8 that are most likely to populate on page 1. These are the 8 that people are most likely going to kind of do a miniature digital assessment on, right? When it comes to deciding whether or not to select you as a real estate agent. Daniel said you need some help with Google Business Profile. Cool, awesome. Yes, so go ahead. I'm actually going to also send in our email if you guys have any questions too about like specific sites. Let me see. I'm not sure if I actually have access to type in the chat for everyone, but it's support@realgrader.com. Let me see if I can. I think it's because I'm co-host. For some reason, it's not letting me put in support@realgrader.com, but I can also share screen towards the end. But great. So what we actually do for anybody that wants to become a real estate influencer with RealGrader is we actually post for you. So we have 30 pieces of fresh content every month with descriptions and hashtags that will get posted on your social media automatically. So you wouldn't have to worry about anything. There will be a guarantee that you have a post on Instagram, on Facebook Business, however many sites that you want to be active on, we can post on them for you. So I'm going to give you guys a quick little example on this next slide. So one moment as I stop share, just to run through an example of somebody that is really active on social media, that is an influencer of ours, just to give you guys some inspo. All right, here we go. I'm just going to grab the screen back. All right, share and share. All right, great. So here we are. So out of curiosity, has anyone ever been in the Instacart dashboard that has a free digital card? If so, let me know in the chat. I'm curious to see if anyone's familiar with this page. Anna Lords said yes, awesome. So this is really where the central hub lives for everything RealGrader. Everybody knows this mainly as the Instacard portal, which it very well is. It's where you can go and edit your digital card, change out your profile image, anything from your background, all that good stuff. So this is where you would go in. But it's also where you can access all of these influencer tools, right? So if you do become a real estate influencer and you really want to up your online presence game, you would also go into the dashboard, the same place as your central spot for your Instacart. So Anna, I would love, maybe I'll even check out your Instacart if you don't mind, since you've been in there. I'm sure you've done some tweaking on your own, which is terrific. I cannot write much because the baby let me know when I can talk. Sounds good. Sounds good. Great. So as an influencer, we do a lot of training. And what this means is we actually have 5 trainings a week, which is definitely a lot. But the reason why we do 5 a week is because you guys are so busy. So if you can even make 1 training every other week, if you can make a goal to make 2 to 3 trainings a month, I promise you, you will benefit so much from attending some of these live Zoom sessions. So here is a quick overview of what our calendar looks like for the remainder of the month for our influencers. Everybody that joins the program, we always have a Monday welcome call where we go over everything. They're interactive, just like the call we're on now, where you can actually message in via the chat about any questions that you might have. And we have lots of different workshops. So we have a VIP support workshop. This would be something that if Daniel was one of our influencers and he was having some questions about Google Business, this would be a workshop that he would most definitely want to join. We also do a social media scheduling platform. So this ties into all your social media that will go online for you. What's up next, whether it be, November, what posts are going to be down the pipeline for you. I know we have Veterans Day coming up. We have a lot of fun holiday posts, but also realtor catered posts for all of your followers will be able to actually get some education out of the content you're putting online. Instacart support. Of course, we have a call for Instacart. That's a super popular call that's going to always go over leveraging your digital card and how you can be constantly upping your game using your digital business card. And this is another really, really key one. We do this every Friday. It's a Google review webinar. So it goes over Google Genius. For example, Kristen, she really upped her game by putting all of her listings on Google Business. So this would be a call that you would definitely want to join if you're looking to enhance your Google Business profile and really be trying to get some more leads organically from Google. So that's a little bit about us and about all of the training we offer. And the program itself is, and the question I always get that I might as well say now, so it's actually only $197 a month. And it comes with a premium Instacard. So that's something that we're doing for Miami. If you actually upgrade to be an influencer, this week we're going to actually also tie in a premium digital business card, which is valued at $99 a year. So just to keep in mind, and I'll mention that again once I finish the overview of the dashboard. So this is the biggest reason why people sign up is for the social media assets. All of these get automatically posted on any of your platforms that you want to be active on. So most people choose Instagram. All these photos are the perfect dimension for Instagram or Facebook. And just to give you an example of if you were an influencer and you know, what kind of content would be posted for you. So I'll just hover over November 2nd. This was the post that went out on the 2nd of November. This was the image. It was first time home buyers tip. And what I love about these posts is it doesn't just include, you know, the imagery, is it includes the caption too, would come with your post as well. And we actually use a hashtag strategy. So we're using relevant hashtags to really, you know, get your profile some more visibility. So that's a quick example of something that could go on Instagram. This also could get posted on Facebook Business if you're looking to really be also posting on there. We let you post on an unlimited amount of sites for $197 a month. So if you're looking to be posting on Instagram, you can actually, of course, tie together your Instagram and Facebook posts so they can really talk to each other since they're both Meta. You can also be posting on LinkedIn, another really good site to be active on. Some people are even downloading these and making TikToks out of them. So you always will have that option and access to the portal as well. Another fun one, I'd mentioned Veterans Day. So this would be one that's going out on the 11th. So you can actually see the post before they actually get posted. And if you ever didn't want a certain post to be, you know, posted on a certain day, you can actually edit that through by just notifying us. You see, we have a chat widget down here. You can message us. That's the easiest way, or you can actually go in and delete it on your own as well. Cool. All right. Oh, Connie, great. So I'm sorry I didn't see your message 4 minutes ago. So it's actually $197 a month is the social media posting. We call it the Real Estate Influencers Program. So this is November. We have fresh content every single month. So December, obviously, we're going to have lots of different posts then, and you'll notice that a lot of them even have, I really like this one. This is like tips on interior design. This is great for Instagram because it has like more than one post. As you guys know on Instagram, or if anyone here is pretty active on Instagram, you can actually post multiple photos at once. So this has interior design trends. So of course, it helps when you can actually post more than one photo for something like a trend because you want to showcase different parts of the home. So this is a quick little recap of what was posted on the 5th. Cool. All right. So let's also jump into other parts of what's included in the program. We also have videos. So in addition to doing all of these live trainings that I went over, a question that we get a lot is, are these recorded? You'll notice that these sessions are live at just about every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern time, but we also record our trainings. So you'll be able to find in the menu section that we have webinar replays. You can actually watch them at your leisure. And we also have guidebooks. So if you're somebody that prefers to read up on, you know, upping your social media game rather than watching videos, we have tons and tons of guidebooks. And tons of guest speakers that have actually also have guidebooks. Underneath this is VIP videos. So I love this section because you can really decide which platform you want to hyper focus on. I said towards the beginning of the call, it is overwhelming being that there's 8 essential platforms, but for November, for example, you could just commit yourself to improving yourself on Google Business. So you could start off by just going to VIP videos, clicking Google Business, and just starting off by watching the Google Business training. or maybe starting off by watching the Google Business Guidebook, just focusing on Google for November, and then Instagram could be your December platform that you really want to, enhance. I saw I got a bunch of chats, so I'm just going to check real quick. Pierre said, can you provide us with your contact info? Absolutely. I can also send you guys my Instacard. So I'll link that in the chat. And I can also link my QR code. So let me go ahead and pause. I'll show you guys my Instacard. And the Instacard, this is the premium one. So this is also paired together if you do decide to upgrade this week to be an influencer. It's $99 a year. The biggest question we get is, what is the difference between the free Miami card and the premium Instacard? And the Miami free is actually a great digital card in and of itself. If we have any people that are on the call that have used the free card for a couple of months, it is really great. You have the QR code, you have your headshot image, customizable background, all of your contact information. The biggest game changer going premium is reviews. So if you are a premium Instacard user, you can actually put all your Google reviews, your Zillow reviews, your Realtor.com reviews on your digital card. And it's $99 a year, or if you upgrade, it'll be free for the first year. And what's great about this is when you do share your digital card with somebody, they'll actually, especially if they're a potential client, they could read up on, your stellar testimonials. And we can group together Zillow, Google. We have some people that have a few on Facebook Business, a few on Zillow, a few on Realtor.com, and we can actually put them all in one spot for you finally. So if you're interested in that, we can help you out with that as well. My favorite part of the card too is you can use it to request Google reviews. So if you have any clients that aren't that tech savvy, you may have found them their dream home and they just have trouble leaving you a review. You can actually use your digital card to send them the magic link to get right to the 5-star section of your page. So I promised I would give my contact information. Here it is. So this is our email. It's just support@realgrader.com. And then this is our number. This is our support line. So for anybody that has any questions after the call that might arise, feel free to reach out to us via email. You can also text that number too. That's how to get in touch with us. I chose a fun interior background. For Miami, we have tons of, waterfront photos, skyline photos. So you can also customize. I'm wondering if Anna, if you've ever actually been in the dashboard and selected, a different image that came with the free card, just out of curiosity, if you're by the computer, because I know you're very busy at the moment. But that's a little bit about us. So we went over the events calendar. We went over the social media posts. We went over guidebooks and how we have some recordings online as well. VIP videos are really social media videos. You can spend hours in here. There's a lot of content. And then we also have our replays, right? So in case you missed anything, we actually have quite a few impressive guest speakers that have come through. If anybody here is Douglas Elliman, we've had Peter Hernandez, who is the president of Douglas Elliman in the Western region. Let me see if I can find his recording. I know we have that as a replay. There he is. Or if anybody here is a member of Lab Code Agents, which is the biggest Facebook community for realtors that exists, we actually had Tristan Ahumada, not only as a guest on our podcast, but he also did an expert webinar. So this is a really popular one that a lot of people have really enjoyed watching. So that's all there as well. And then we also have our podcast. So a lot of educational enrichment found in the influencer program on top of having automated posting. A lot of people know us by influencer being post for me, which is exactly what it is. But in addition to that, we have just like a lot of career and, online presence development for you guys that you can access, again, for that same monthly price of $197. And lastly, we have email signatures. So if anybody on this call is looking to, update their email signature, whether you have a great one, whether you have one, but you've had it for a while and you want maybe just, bit of a tune-up or enhancement, we actually create email signatures. So this is an example of just an agent of ours that is an influencer with Howard Hanna. So we have a lot of different options. So by simply just picking your favorite one, hovering over and clicking copy, you can paste this into your favorite email provider, whether it be Gmail, it plays really nice with Outlook, AOL, and you can have a really professional email signature that has all of your contact information, your headshot. And a lot of our agents have been using this one with the QR code as well, which is going to link to your digital card. So that's a little bit about your email signatures. I'm going to pause again and take a look at the chat. So Anna said, I would like to contact back with you guys. I had the service when I was at Douglas Elliman, and I have to make all changes to the new company. Well, you're one of many of our agents that have been in that situation. We do a rebranding. So if you are looking to, I'm sure, especially if you have, sites on LinkedIn, Facebook Business, all of these platforms have banners. And the problem is if you have a banner, that has your name and your brokerage, most likely you probably have your old brokerage with your old logo. So a lot of that will need to be updated as soon as possible. Especially, and this is what makes people want to get the rebranding as soon as possible, especially if you have an old email. Because I know a lot of times when agents switch from, Coldwell to Remax or whatever direction or, brokerage they leave, a lot of those are actually going to really disservice you if people are going to be emailing the email that it got wiped, from your previous brokerage. So definitely get in touch with us, support@realgrader.com. We can make sure that you get rebranded. But we can also make sure, Anna, that your Instacard is up to date, whether or not you've changed it. The Instacard is the best part about having a digital card rather than a paper card is you can simply go in, make changes, and you don't have to reprint your cards. And it's eco-friendly too, right? So within seconds, you can easily change your brokerage. You can go into branding and images and switch out your logo. And you can, of course, also update anything from office number to email, all of that. So I have not made any changes yet. Yeah. So Anna, as long as you know how to access your dashboard, starting with making changes to your Instacard is what I would recommend doing first and foremost, just because the Instacard is easier to change than Facebook banners or, LinkedIn.com biography information. It just takes a bit longer to go one by one, site by site, whereas Instacard, you'll be able to go in branding, images, and information. These two tabs, you'll be set. As long as you update all of these, you'll be good to go as far as having an updated Instacard. If you need help, let us know because we can help you out. All right, cool. So that's really the complete overview as far as your digital card. Did anybody else have any questions? I know I just talked a lot about all of the tools that go into being a real estate influencer. So a lot of content, but the reason why we have so much is so this way, month after month, there's always going to be more and more enrichment that you can delve into. It's not going to be a program that like after a month, you're like, okay, now what? There's always something else. And there's always going to be another training and another speaker and something exciting to look forward to next. Awesome. I figure what I'll also do during this call is because all of you guys have free Instacards, I'm going to make sure I link the Claim a Card link. So if anybody on this call has not claimed their digital card, I'm going to link that. And then what I'm also going to do is I'm also going to link our sign up page for anybody that wants to be an influencer. I'm going to put that on the screen next. So let me go ahead and see if I can use this chat. Let's see. And maybe I could even send it to Connie or Christy, because it's looking like right now I can only send it to Reading AI meeting notes. Meeting group chat. Let me see if this works. I'm usually rather savvy with Zoom, but I'm so used to like having it in my own room. So let me see if I can get everything for you guys. So first and foremost, I'm going to link the sign up link. And I will reshare my screen. Let me know, guys, if a link is in the chat.
It did appear.
It did appear. Awesome. Yeah. Thank you, Connie. Really love the person.
And it works.
Awesome. Okay, perfect.
Okay.
So I'll share my screen. This is what the link is on your computer. If anybody's tuning in, computer, whatever device you're on, you should be able to open it. So this is just everything I talked about that's included in the influencer subscription. But in addition, that's not on this slide, is you also get the premium Instacart for free for the first year. And as long as you pay for month one, you can have it for the whole year. So it's not binding, it's month to month. It's not like a gym membership where you're like, if you want to, cancel at some point and you're locked in for months and months. I know I've done that with Fitness Edge. But this is really just a quick summary of what's included. Zoom rooms. We also have a private Facebook community. I didn't even touch on that. That's another huge one. Ebooks, your digital business card training, VIP support, posts, email signatures, expert webinars, coaching calls, and then all of this stuff is about Cloud Campaign, where you actually post. And it's just $197 a month. So this has a lot of verbiage. So hopefully going through everything. If you guys ever have questions, we have a welcome webinar too that'll go through everything again if you ever wish to join. But if you do want to sign up, it's linked here. Today it would just be a charge of $197, and the next bill would be a month from now. You would just fill in all of your information, and then once you do sign up, I'll actually go in and also update your digital card to premium, so everybody can reap all of the benefits of the premium Instacart as well. Super. All right, and what I'm also going to do is I'm going to also link, for anybody on this call that doesn't have their free digital card, I'm also going to link that as well. So one moment as I grab. And this, I want to say it's most likely on I know we get claims every day, so it's somewhere on the Miami website. But I'll also link our claim link, and I'm going to share my screen again. Let me grab this. Let me see. Share. Here we go. Awesome. So for anybody on this call that doesn't have their free version of their card, I'll link that. And what's great is we actually have a pre-created version. So odds are you're going to claim it. You're going to see your photo. There's probably going to be something, almost always, there's something small that needs to be changed. But some people actually, we got all of your information. We found all of it from Google. So if you have a really strong online presence, odds are we probably got all the right contact information. But if you do have a headshot image that's in your camera roll that you took last week that you prefer to have as your headshot image, you can actually claim your card and then go into the dashboard. That's where I just was. That's where Anna's been a number of times, and you can go ahead and update all of your information there. So that's where our claim is. Does anyone have any questions about the free Instacart, how you can claim your card, or if anybody on this call has started using their card, anyone have any general Instacart questions? I might as well ask while I'm here. Let's see. All right. Nothing. That's all right. I like how you guys are just so quiet. If you guys have any questions, though, I'm more than happy to jump in and answer them. But if anyone also would like to be on a hot seat, otherwise I could also Google Connie or Christine, or who else is on the call. Christy said, would anyone like me to do a quick little Google demo? I think that would be a fun way to really show that.
I'd like you to do a Google demo. You can use either one of us.
Great.
I've been around almost for a decade, and I've made a couple of mistakes. So
Yeah.
you can find me as Connie Nieto and then real estate instructor. And then I show up as Connie real estate instructor. And you'll see that I show up as one is Google and one is not. And that's kind of what I wanted you to see. You see, there is my first and last name. I don't show up on Google, but you can see my other pages. And then if you open up another tab and remove the Nieto, so just do Connie real estate instructor.
Hey, that's pretty powerful. The fact that you don't have to have your last name in search, and you're having a lot of correct, it looks like all of this stuff is all of your pages. So that's huge. Super. I'll start with doing your first and last name. obviously Connie isn't an agent, so she doesn't have, unless you do have a Google business page. Connie, do you happen to have one?
I do, and I'm wondering why it's not showing up for you.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Do you happen to know the full name? We've seen this happen with our agents a lot, where depending on what you title your Google business page, it is a bit of a sensitive, what you use to really title your business page is key, because you want it to populate right away. So like when I did,
It's Connie, real estate instructor.
real estate instructor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, just not doing Nieto. Let's see if this will work. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm wondering, even if you have the link, I could show you too. Like I was looking through,
Let me see if I can get the link and send it to you.
like most of the time,
It's a temporary. It's a temporary close on my end. I don't know if it's that I have to.
Oh, then that's probably why. That's probably why.
That's
It's
funny.
that it might be, it might have to do with the address that you have entered in. Or maybe it's the postcard. This is why it's good to Google yourself. I mean, once in a while, it could be with the address. It could be that there's an older address in there.
It says
And
my edit is being reviewed. It might have been that they send a postcard to our main location, and I just didn't get it.
yes, so Google in recent years has sent postcards to really, it's almost like their authenticative process to deem a office as a legitimate location. So they will want, that's like the only, it sounds kind of old school that they're actually sending something paper in the mail, but the reason is because obviously like that's how they can really figure out it can be delivered and received to a location, is if they do it that way. So yeah, if you actually, and you can actually resend it by going into your Google business settings, you can
I
resend
sent it through the group chat so you guys could see what it did.
yeah,
That's it. I sent a picture and how it says temporarily closed, and I asked them to revise it. So that's neat. That means that we do need to do this on a monthly basis and stay on top of it, because that is our headquarter location.
Yeah, it's good that you caught it when you did.
And again, I'm not a realtor. I just teach, but
Right.
we do try to keep a hold of our pages and keep our stuff going. So that's cool. You see, and that's one of the reasons that we did want to use us as an example for you to see what we could catch when someone else Googles you.
Definitely. If anybody else is on this call or that's looking to find out how they're showing up, go ahead and open up a tab and enter in your first last name followed by realtor and just see what comes up. Because it is really important to do it on a routine basis. But yeah, so thank you for sharing that with us, Connie. Sure. I was going to show another, just because I know you guys are instructors, and it will be slightly different for you guys because obviously you're not going to have a Zillow or a realtor.com or a homes.com, but Connie does have a lot of those other essential platforms, right? So she could have the 5 other ones, which is Google Business, YouTube, LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook Business. And I'm seeing YouTube here. I'm seeing, let's see, this one. Actually, you know what? Let me put in Nieto because that might help with your LinkedIn. Instagram, let's see, Facebook Business, great.
That's my LinkedIn.
This is you.
Yeah,
I didn't realize it was
that's my married name.
Gotcha, cool. And then even Twitter's coming up too. We always say Twitter is maybe like the 9th or 10th site to be on, but also good to be on. And then a couple of other links. If you are a realtor, I have another, I know I'd use Kristen Markovic as an example. Jake Little is somebody that we use from Miami too. He has a really good online presence as well. We can see right away his Google business page populated. So this is another great example. He's got, a 5.0 average. He's got the Miami skyline in the background. So you really can quickly identify the area that he serves. Of course, on the map, we have the area he's serving. We can scroll down. We can read through his Google reviews. They're recent. He's got reviews from 3 weeks ago, current. So that's important too, is not only having a lot of reviews or building reviews, is having current reviews, right? Because even if you have 40 reviews, but your most recent reviews was, 2021, how much is that really going to help you if it's a dated review, when people go through their selection process. He also has Instagram coming up on the left-hand side. He's got homes.com. He paid for HomeSnap, so that's why that one's populating there. Zillow. So again, you're noticing these 8 sites are, again, the ones that are coming up right away. Agent page and his personal website has good SEO, so that's why those are really quick to come up. Homes.com, Zillow, LinkedIn. So clearly all of these sites that we're talking about are coming up quite quickly, all on page 1. He also linked his digital card here as well to his appointments page. So if people are looking to, find his Instacard, just another way to get his information out. So if anybody on this call is looking to find out what their Instacard URL link is, you can do that when you access the dashboard. You might have noticed earlier on the call, I searched my Instacard by just entering in instacard.co and then my name. So this is what your URL is right here. So I know Connie has a card. Connie, all right if I open up yours? See if I can find it.
Go right ahead.
Okay. This is probably yours. Let me see. Unless we had your full name. Or if there was more than one Connie. We might have more than one Connie Nieto too. Let's see if we can get this to load. Sometimes people have a second one. I'm just trying to do
I think you worked on Christy, so you might have Christy.
Yeah, let me go look at your Christie's then. Or I can look at Anna's because I know Anna has one too. Let me look at Christy. Let's see. Looks like it's loading. Lots of tabs open at once, so it's just taking a little longer. Let me see.
Caroline, we have some questions. I have some questions. So
Please.
we've had agents during class that have been interested in doing something like this. And some of their frequent questions is, okay, do I have to share all my passwords with Real Creator was one of the questions. And then I don't have any of my passwords. What do I do? And then how long is this going to take? It's just kind of some of the things that they're thinking about. Can you help us with those questions?
Great questions. So it actually depends on specifically what you're most interested in, right? So if you're somebody that has no social media whatsoever, or you're not on like Google Business, or you're not on Instagram, like some of the really important ones to be on, I'd recommend that you probably do what we call like the Real Grader optimization. That's something I didn't really go into detail. I talked about being an influencer today. That would be the schedule a call that I talked about earlier in the slide. For that, yes, you would have to share your passwords only because we actually do your branding for you. We would create for you. Let me see. So I'm still on this slide right now. Like we would create for you a background that has all of your information, call to action buttons. So for Kristen, she gave us all of her, her username and password, but there's some sites that we actually had to create for her from the beginning, right? A username and password. So she has a realtor.com or she has a LinkedIn, all that. So this process, if you're somebody that's looking to become optimized, takes about 2 to 3 months. Our calendar is booked out about like a month and a half right now. To be completely optimized. So that means you would get a branding package with the backgrounds and everything. And all of these profiles filled in with bio. Now, this is more of a premium package. It's actually a setup for an individual optimization. It's for an individual agent. It's usually $1,597. For Miami, we do it for $1,297. And it's more lengthy, right? Because you're actually creating a Google Business page, or you're waiting to get, the Google Business postcard in the mail, like Christy knows. It takes longer, and we need to use that time to make sure we get it polished and right. It's definitely not a process you'd want to rush. Now, the influencer program, we don't create the profiles. We actually use what you have currently. So if you're somebody that's active on Google Business, you have an Instagram, maybe you have a LinkedIn. If you have a couple of profiles and you just want to pay the $197 a month, that's where you might just want to become an influencer. So it kind of like, if you actually kind of self-diagnose yourself, or you can join a call with one of our experts and we can kind of point you in the right direction of the avenue you should take. Because there's some people that they've no online presence, they can't become an influencer, if that makes sense, if they don't have any pages, right? So did that answer your question?
It did. And I wanted to ask you one more.
Please.
So my other question is, yes, a lot of our agents go in and they Google themselves and they have an online presence, and we talk about how important it is for them to have one. And I love that they can use RealGrader to be able to do this for them, but they are asking me sometimes, my name is so common, or
Right.
my name is like somebody else's name and I don't come up at all. Do you know how we can help them?
Yeah, one of the major ways you can beat out your competition with the same first and last name is if you actually have more Google reviews, and if you have more activity on your profiles, it'll help organically with your SEO as well. So I mean, Kristen has more of a distinct name, but my name, Caroline Walsh, is not. There's a lot of me out there. So if I was an agent, something that I would really want to make sure I do effectively is going after Google reviews, because that would definitely help my Google business page. But also making sure, in my Google business page that I'm setting my area and having, there's a couple of other tricks that we use, like having your business open 24 hours will help with your searchability online. We turn on all of these settings to really try and help your business be at the top. But again, it's the reviews really help. Kind of makes sense at the end of the day that that's Google's algorithm, but those definitely will help you beat out someone with the same exact name as you for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. They're like really good actionable steps. Do you know more or less how many Google reviews we can start getting, at least to give them like at least reach or try to reach this number before you think the algorithm will notice?
Great question. It depends on the area and how saturated it is. We've had agents too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the program Google Local Ads. Google came out with it about 2 years ago, and it's actually where you can search realtors near me and there will be names that populate. And there's certain areas like Long Island that have a lot of agents in one spot. So if you even want to be in the running of Google local services, we like to say you got to be at like 30 or 35 to really be like fighting competition. But there's some areas like Raul, I was using him as an example earlier. He's in like Western New York, or he's somewhere that it's very rural, and 10 or 15 Google reviews is plenty for him to stand out. We like to say 25 is like the safe number for like any part of the US. And we actually have like a requirement for anybody that wants us to actually do Google local ads. We don't even let people sign up unless they have a minimum of 25, just because we want their ad to perform. And we would hate for people to be paying for, ads if like their reviews aren't at least, 25 for clicks. It helps people see the rating and the review in a second and a half and their photo. So it's really like review count and average play such a big factor. But yeah, I would say try to get them to 25 would be.
Carmen, that's so awesome. So like if you were thinking of setting up that person, it would be creating their presence, optimizing their ads, and you have to have this done even before you think about generating ads.
Yeah, it's like laying out the foundation, right, before doing the ads. Having a Google business profile is necessary in order to have the ads. And then also being on Google means, being on those 8 sites. So yeah, it's like level 1 is like get on the profiles. Level 2 would be like be an influencer. We've had a lot of people skip level 1 and just go right into influencer if they've done a lot of work on their own and they feel pretty confident about their online presence so far. And then level 3 would be upping your game and doing Google local ads. is kind of the journey to go on.
Thank you for letting me pick your brain.
And
Oh
yes,
yeah, no, I,
um,
you've asked so many great questions, so I
as the year end and they start to plan for marketing for next year, these are some of the vital elements that new or maybe seasoned realtors can consider. We're really looking forward to number one, keeping this recording. We're going to make it a part of our social media series page, and we're going to make it a prerequisite to our free social media series classes. So before they come into class, whether they take it in English or Spanish, we're going to ask them to take and review this video so then they understand that there's a foundation, there's things they should consider doing, platforms that they should be on, and then come to class and work with us with what we can provide and see that there's also ways that you can do things that are paid for, and of course they can do on their own, but that this is a process. It's not something you can flip a switch and do overnight, because you're talking about 25 reviews to be safe, and that in this instance could equate to 25 transactions.
Yes, definitely.
So that's something for them to consider. And it also really does say that you have to take time, and every time you do have a transaction, request a review and get one. And then, like you said, you have to establish a foundation before you can grow. You can't build a high rise without doing, that first big step. So again, this was wonderful. We really appreciate your time, taking time out to come and be with us, to talk to us not only about what you can offer, but doing a review like this and taking a minute and going through the steps on what realtors could do to do more with what they have, and then doing an audit. And look what happened with me. And see that I was
Right.
temporarily closed because they couldn't verify. So you never know, and that's why you have to always stay on top of it. If there's anything else, any other questions,
No,
I think
you
Chris
did,
and
Connie, this
I
is a great recap.
appreciate your time.
Appreciate all of your time. Thank you guys for having me. Hopefully we can do another training again. I always loved speaking with the Miami agents. It's always such a pleasure.
Thank you, Carolyn. We appreciate it too. And we want to thank you all for being here with us. Have a great afternoon. And we look forward to seeing you again. Carolyn, we might have to do another one of these when we get started next year.
Sounds great. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you, everyone, for being Miami members and for spending time with us. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.